Yo, check it. Let me holler at y'all for a minute. You know what's a real buzzkill? Hitting the studio ready to lay down a fresh track and you can't even catch your breath to spit a verse. Feeling like you drowning on dry land. That was my reality, dog. I thought the game was over. But turns out, the whole time we've been playing into the hands of some real players who got us on a leash. I got people, good people hitting me up, whispering, Snoop, chill, they don't want this out. For real. Same thing happening to my folks in the industry. Why? Because if cats find out you can flip the script on your lungs in 17 days, they whole multi-billion-dollar hustle goes up in smoke. Too many of us are suffocating while these suits are counting their stacks. My doc looked me dead in the eye and said, Snoop, it's the lifestyle. Yeah, preach, doc. His smooth way of saying keep wheezing, keep paying. But here's the kicker. It ain't even about the lungs being broken. It's about these tiny little valves in your blood getting jammed up. That's the science they've been hiding. They call me Snoop Dogg. I've been speaking my truth since day one. But you know what almost silenced the dog for good, not being able to breathe? Decades of living large caught up to me. I'm in the booth, and I gotta cut a session short, cause my chest is tighter than a snare drum. Just walking from my ride to the door had me leaning over, gasping. Nights were the worst, lying there, feeling the walls closing in, so I went to the top doctors. They hit you with, Mr. Broadus is COPD, you'll be on these inhalers for life. And I fell for it. First hit of the inhaler, it cooled me out for a minute. Then I'm hitting it like it's a new vape flavor. Still sounding like a broken subwoofer, nothing. Let me lay it down straight. If you think COPD is a life sentence, you've been sold a bad beat. We ain't broken, they're keeping us sick. Follow the money. Then my homie Sam Elliott put me on game. He been through the same hell, but he found this doctor, a real Harvard-trained OG, who figured out the real cause. That one conversation, man, it changed the whole game. Next morning, I wake up and take a breath deeper than the 90 seconds funk bass line. Almost brought a tear to my eye, for real. Within 17 days, I was back in the studio laying down tracks for hours. My doctor looked at my charts like he'd seen a ghost. Picture this, yo, waking up clear, no cough, walking to the store without feeling like you ran a marathon. That's the life I got back. Look, I don't know how long the powers that be will let this message ride. Sam and this doctor are spilling the whole story right now in this interview. The science, the proof, everything they tried to bury. If you're tired of feeling like you're locked in a box with no air, you need to hear what they have to say. It's about to get real. Peace.
A renowned lung specialist with over 30 years of experience lost her medical license after discovering a breakthrough for COPD, one that could make inhalers and oxygen therapy unnecessary. What is this forbidden remedy that threatened a multi-billion-dollar industry? And how can you start restoring your lung function at home today? It all comes down to a basic misunderstanding about breathing problems that's lasted for decades. After exhausting every conventional option for his severe COPD, Sam Elliott made a decision that shocked his doctors. He canceled his oxygen tank preparations. In a 19-minute interview that is now sending shockwaves through the medical world, Sam reveals the simple at-home method that restored his breathing when experts had given up. No prescriptions, no doctor visits, no special equipment, just a straightforward solution anyone can start tonight. If you or someone you love suffers from breathing problems, take a few minutes to hear this. It could change your life.
This is NBC Nightly News with Tom Llamas.
In the next few minutes, you'll see how you could wake up without coughing, walk farther without stopping, and finally breathe deeply again. All with a simple at-home method anyone can start tonight. Sam Elliott knows this firsthand. Hello, Sam. You're looking great today. Thanks for joining us. How have you been?
Yeah, Tom, thanks for having me. And 18 months ago, I was planning my funeral, not joking. Couldn't make it from my truck to the grocery store without stopping 3 times. Bent over, wheezing like a broken engine. The worst part, I've been a stuntman for 40 years, jumped off buildings, been in explosions, rode horses through fire, but COPD, that was killing me slow, and I couldn't fight it. It started small, just a morning cough that wouldn't quit. Then I wake up at 3 in the morning, drowning in my own bed, gasping like a fish out of water. My wife had found me hunched over the kitchen table at 4 a.m. because lying down felt like suffocating. The shame, that was the hardest. Christmas dinner last year, I started coughing during grace. Couldn't stop, had to run outside, doubled over in the cold while my grandkids watched through the window. That's when I knew I was disappearing. My pulmonologist, Dr. Richards at Cedars-Sinai, looked me dead in the eye after my lung test and said, Sam, your FEV1's at 41%. Most folks at your level are on oxygen 16 hours a day. We need to talk end-of-life planning. End-of-life planning? Well, I had every inhaler they make, Symbicort, Spiriva, Ventolin, Advair. My kitchen counter looked like a pharmacy. Some days I'd hit my rescue inhaler 8 times and still couldn't fill my lungs. The steroids shook my hand so bad I couldn't hold a coffee cup steady. Was dying, Tom. Not the dramatic kind, the slow, suffocating, dignity-stealing kind, until that trip to Arizona changed everything. Wasn't looking for a miracle. I was visiting my brother's ranch, probably for the last time, but he wouldn't let up. Said I had to see this doctor, Dr. Barbara O'Neill. She's no internet guru, Harvard-trained pulmonologist, 30 years at Johns Hopkins, then moved her practice to Sedona. First thing she said floored me. Sam, every doctor's been treating your symptoms. No one's looked at the root cause. Your lungs aren't broken, they're hijacked. She pulled up something on her computer I'd never seen, called it the outlaw mechanism, and when she explained it, everything clicked. But to really understand it, well, she can tell it better than I ever could.
Sam, that's incredible. We actually have Dr. O'Neill with us today to explain this breakthrough. Doctor, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Tom. And Sam, I'm so proud of your progress. What Sam experienced isn't rare. I see it every week. After 30 years treating COPD at major medical centers, I discovered something that changed my entire approach to lung disease. Here's what your doctors aren't telling you. Your breathing problems aren't just lung damage, they're blood poisoning. Let me explain with a simple visual. Inside your lungs are millions of microscopic valves called alveolar capillary junctions. Think of them as tiny doors between your air sacs and bloodstream. When these valves work properly, oxygen flows in, toxins flow out. But here's what happens with COPD. Years of inhaling microscopic particles, dust, smoke, pollution, even cleaning chemicals cause these valves to seize shut. When they jam, toxins can't escape your bloodstream. Instead, they circle back into your lungs over and over, creating a toxic loop. It's like having a house where all the windows are painted shut. No matter how much you try to pump in fresh air, the stale, toxic air stays trapped inside, getting worse every day. This is why your inhalers only work temporarily. Symbicort and Advair push air into inflamed passages. Albuterol opens airways for a few hours. But none of them address the jammed valves, the root cause. The medical establishment calls this irreversible lung damage. But I call it the outlaw mechanism because your own blood turns outlaw, hijacking your lungs instead of healing them. Now, I know this sounds revolutionary. You're probably thinking, if this is true, why isn't every doctor talking about it? Here's why. There's no money in letting people heal, let alone healing at home naturally and without filling their pockets with hard-earned money. The inhaler industry makes $30 billion annually, keeping you dependent on temporary relief. A COPD patient spends an average of $4,000 per year on medications alone. But I couldn't ignore what I was seeing in my practice. Patient after patient following my valve restoration protocol were getting their lives back. So in 2024, I conducted a 60-day study with 1,847 COPD patients using my natural formula. The results were remarkable. 94% reported easier breathing within 7 days. Average FEV1 improvement of 31% by week 6. 78% reduced their inhaler usage by more than half. 89% could climb stairs without stopping by day 30. These are documented medical improvements from people who had given up hope. So how do we reopen these jammed valves? I spent 2 years researching compounds that could restore natural blood-lung exchange, not synthetic drugs, but concentrated nutrients that have been helping people breathe clearly for centuries. So I went back to nature and found 5 specific compounds that work together to unlock these jammed valves. First is mullein leaf extract. Now, European farmers have used this for centuries when their animals had breathing problems. What I discovered is it actually dissolves the microscopic gunk that's jamming your valve mechanisms. Think of it like WD-40 for your lung valves. Next is organic thyme extract. This isn't just kitchen thyme, it's a concentrated extract that contains compounds called thymols. These actually relax the tiny muscles around your bronchial tubes while clearing out the inflammatory debris that's blocking your valve pathways. Then there's ginger root complex. Most people know ginger helps with nausea, but what they don't know is it's one of nature's most powerful anti-inflammatories. It reduces the swelling that's choking your valves shut, while boosting blood flow to repair damaged lung tissue. We also include licorice root, and before you asked, no, it won't taste like candy. This contains something called glycyrrhizin, which actually repairs damaged valve tissue and prevents the scarring that keeps them stuck. And finally, there's vitamin D3. And here's something shocking. 87% of COPD patients are severely deficient in vitamin D, which is absolutely critical for lung repair. Without it, your body simply can't heal properly, no matter what else you do. But here's the key. It's not just what's in the formula, it's the precise ratios and extraction methods. Too little, and the valves stay jammed. Too much, and you overwhelm the system. This is the first and only supplement designed specifically to target the outlaw mechanism.
Dr. O'Neill, you mentioned you've helped over 1,800 patients with COPD and chronic bronchitis. But what you didn't tell us is that alongside everyday Americans, there are some really big names on your client list. Let's take a look at what they told us about their experiences with your formula.
At my age, most folks expect you to slow down. Hell, I'm 94 and still directing films. But this damn wheeze was making me feel ancient. Couldn't get through a long day on set without coughing fits. So 2 weeks with this stuff and I can work 12-hour days again. Even rode my horse up to the Overlook last weekend.
I've been smoking and touring for over 60 years. My doc told me my lungs were done for. My voice was getting raspier every show, and it wasn't the good kind of rasp. After trying this formula, I can hit those high notes again without running out of breath. Even at 91, I'm still on the road because I can breathe easy again.
Yes, about that remedy. Now look, I've lived hard, I smoked, I partied, I spent decades in clubs and arenas, started getting winded, performing, and you can't rock like that, you know. But I skipped these white coat mafia and went straight to Dr. O'Neill. 3 weeks and I was back. No wheezing, no coughing, no pugging. I can literally rock a 3-hour set and still have energy for after party. American badass needs American lungs, you know?
There you have it. I mean, incredible testimonials from some very recognizable voice. But Dr. O'Neill, don't get me wrong, but these results seem almost too good to be true. I'm sure people are wondering, if this really works, why haven't they heard about it before?
That's the most common question I get. Here's the truth. The medical establishment doesn't teach nutrition in medical school. We're trained to prescribe pharmaceuticals, not natural healing. When I first presented my findings to the American Lung Association, I was told to stick to proven treatments. Translation, keep prescribing inhalers that cost $300 per month instead of a $49 natural solution.
What about people thinking this is just another supplement scam?
I understand that skepticism. The supplement industry is full of false promises. That's why I offer something no supplement company does, a 180-day unconditional guarantee. If this formula doesn't improve your breathing in 180 days, send back the empty bottles and I'll refund every penny. No questions asked. I can offer this because I've seen the results and you can't deny them. When you address the root cause instead of masking symptoms, healing happens. Here's what I need you to understand. This presentation is under attack. 3 weeks ago, I received a cease and desist letter from a major pharmaceutical company. They claim my unsubstantiated medical claims are hurting their business. Translation, people are canceling their $300 per month inhaler subscriptions. My lawyer says I have until midnight tonight before they file an injunction to take down every single mention of this breakthrough from the web permanently. That's why I'm not waiting for pharmacy distribution. Right now, this lung healing remedy is only available here directly from my lab for $49 per bottle. That's manufacturing cost. Once this goes to pharmacies, they're demanding a 500% markup, which would price it at more than $200 per bottle. I refuse to let that happen, but I only have 847 bottles remaining from this batch. Due to the specialized extraction process, our next batch won't be ready for 4 to 6 months if we're still legally allowed to make one. And I'll be honest, I could charge what the pharmacies will, $200 per bottle, but that's not why I became a doctor. Here's what I'm doing instead. When you secure your supply of this remedy today for just $49, you're getting so much more than just the formula. You're getting my complete lung freedom system. First, the formula itself, the only supplement specifically designed to reopen your jammed lung valves and reverse COPD, bronchitis, and other respiratory conditions. But I'm not stopping there. I'm also including my complete lung recovery toolkit, everything I've developed over 15 years to help my patients breathe freely again, my emergency valve reset protocol, what to do during those scary episodes when you can't catch your breath. This 60-second technique can reopen blocked valves fast without panicking or reaching for your inhaler. The Lung Renewal Food Plan. I'll reveal the 17 everyday foods that naturally support valve function. You probably have half of them in your kitchen right now. Plus, I'll expose the 8 common foods that are secretly jamming your valves shut. And because I know you might have questions, I'm including direct email access to my clinical team for the first 180-day. Real doctors who helped me in development of this formula will be available to all customer 24/7 within 180 days of initial purchase. We'll also choose 100 people who will get to visit my retreat for 7 days at no cost at all. All of this normally costs my private patients over $2,000. But your investment today is just $49, and that includes everything. And here's my promise to you. Try this complete system for a full 180 days. That's 6 months. If you don't feel like you got your breath and your life back, just send me the empty bottle and I'll refund every single penny. No questions, no hassles.
Dr. O'Neill, that's an incredible offer. Sam, before we wrap up, I have to ask, what would you tell someone who's watching this right now, struggling with breathing problems, maybe wondering if this is too good to be true?
Tom, I get it. I was skeptical too. Listen, 90 days ago, I was planning what to tell my grandkids before I couldn't speak anymore. Today, I rode my horse 12 miles without stopping once. This morning, I woke up and took the deepest breath I've taken in 10 years. My wife cried. Hell, I cried. Don't wait until you're staring at oxygen tubes like I was. Every day, those valves stay jammed shut. More permanent damage occurs. But when you reopen them, it's like someone turned the lights back on.
The choice is yours. Keep spending $300+ monthly on inhalers that barely work for a few hours, or invest $49 once to address the root cause. After midnight tonight, this offer disappears forever. The pharmaceutical industry will make sure of that. If you've ever struggled to catch your breath, you know how precious each one is. Don't waste another minute gasping when you could be living. In just a few seconds, a secure order button will appear below this video. When you click it, you'll be taken to our ordering page. After filling in a short form, your transaction will be processed by a national bank, just like when you shop at any major store. There are absolutely no hidden fees, no recurring charges, and no surprises. You pay $49 once, and that's it. Your information is completely safe and will never be shared with anyone. Simply fill out the secure form, and within 1 to 2 business days, you'll receive your bottle along with all the free bonuses I mentioned earlier. If you have any issues with your order, our customer service team is standing by to help. We're real people who actually answer the phone.
Thank you, Dr. O'Neill. Sam, any final words for folks who might still be on the fence?
You know what, Tom? I'm not going to beg anybody to get their life back. That's not my style. Me and Dr. O'Neill, we don't make a dime off this. Truth is, we're putting our lives and our careers on the line here. My lawyers keep telling me to shut up about it, but I can't. Look, some of you watching right now are already thinking up excuses. I'll think about it. I'll talk to my doctor first, maybe next month. I get it. I was the same way, but here's the thing. While you're thinking about it, those valves are getting more jammed every single day. While you're waiting for permission from a doctor who's never even heard of this, you're missing Christmas mornings with your grandkids because you can't breathe. Others of you, you're going to take action. You're going to say, $39 to breathe free again? That's what I spend on 2 restaurant meals. You're going to click that button and start living again. The choice is yours. I can't want your freedom more than you do, but I'll tell you this. 3 months from now, one group will still be hitting their inhalers 8 times a day, dropping hundreds on meds, and planning life around oxygen tanks. The other group, they'll be hiking, playing with their grandkids, sleeping through the night, living like they did 20 years ago. Which group do you want to be in? Don't think about it. Just click. Your lungs and your family will thank you.